Okay, hi everyone. Today we're going to learn about the iD5 plate reader. So for this instrument, if there's the tablet mode as well as the computer. If you ever want to use the tablet, then just always make sure you have your thumb drive plugged in, because otherwise it won't save the data. And then also make sure you click on public, and then that'll make sure it'll have like the same screen as the laptop. But we're going to show you how to use the laptop. More people use it, and it's very, very similar. So if you know one, you know both. So once you've set up your sample, we're going to go ahead and open Softmax Pro. So once you do, it'll look something like this. The first thing we're going to do is we're going to connect to the instrument. So that's just with this button right here. And then iD5 plate reader is good, so we'll hit OK. We'll go ahead and connect. Alright, and then once it's connected, go ahead and click open, and that'll open up the drawer to put the plate reader into. So once this opens up, there's a bunch of different wall plates you can choose from. We're going to use this one today. So you'll just stick it in here, and then just make sure like the A1 is in the top left corner so you can see all the numbers and letters that are facing you. So we have our tray loaded, so right now it's in the open position, so we'll go ahead and hit close, and then the plate should be closing and going inside the instrument. Okay, and then once your plate is inside, so to set up an experiment, the first thing we'll do, so on the top left, there's create a new data document. So that'll essentially make a new tab for you. So now we're in the second one. So to make a new experiment, you can just click on new experiment. It'll usually just kind of copy the one from above. And then for adding a new plate or new graph, you can do so here as well. And then for plate, so if you want to run this one, over here we can click on settings. So under settings, you can then select what read mode you want, so absorbance, fluorescence, and so on. And then we can choose what we want, endpoint or spectrum or kinetic. For wavelength, so depending on what wavelengths you want, you can go ahead and set the wavelength here. Plate type as well, just make sure you have the correct plate type set up, and then let us know if it's lit or not. Ours is not. For read area, so we just have a few samples, so you can click one at a time. If you just click and drag, you can go ahead and select multiple. So we've got A1 through 3 selected. And then for shake, so if you want to have it shake just before, in case your samples may be prone to settling, you can do that. And then just a few other settings you can take a look at. If it looks okay, we'll hit OK on the bottom right. And then the one to the right, so template editor. A few things you can do here. So let's say the first one is a blank, you can set that as well. But let's say maybe you have like lots of runs, and you want to set different blanks for each of your groups. So to make one of these a group, you can hit add group, and then we'll hit OK. And then within that group, if you want to select one of them as the blank, you can then select it as the group blank. So this would be if you have lots of data points. You can go ahead and set multiple blanks for each of your groups that you have. So we'll go ahead and hit OK now. So once you've looked at the template editor, the next thing we can do is go to data reduction. So these are just a few other things you can do, like post-processing steps. So you can modify those as needed. And then the last one, display options. So just a few other things you can toggle with for your data. Once you have a set that you like, we can go ahead and hit play. The only other thing I'll show you is workflow. So if you go to workflow over here, so let's say you want to run multiple, let's say you want to have it run something and then 5 minutes later run it again. So we can go ahead and click read. We'll double click that, and then if we click on double click delay and double click read again, then you can go ahead and have a delay. The only thing you want to do is make sure, so you want to set the plate and experiment. If you do this, so experiment 1, plate 1, for this one, just make sure you have another plate selected. So you're going to want to make a second plate. Otherwise, when it takes the second read, it's going to override. So make sure, however many you have of these, just make sure you have a different plate set for each one so that the data will save each time and not continuously overwrite. And then, so otherwise, if you're happy with just doing one run, we can go ahead and hit play. And once you do that, we can just hit OK, replate. Alright, so once it takes all that data, you're happy with it and you want to save it. So over here, we can go to, you can either do print or save as PDF. And then otherwise you can do export, and then this can export into an XML, XLS, or TXT file. And then you just want to select like which specific experiments and plates you want to save. Click them and then hit OK. And then you'll have your data. And then from there you can just stick your flash drive in and then export the data from there. And then to close out of everything, it likely shut out your plate when it finished the run anyway, so you can just close up the program.